tell us about, and I wish we got into this a little bit sooner. You have quite a story to tell us. So why don't you tell us?
Yeah, for sure. Even before the show, there was I know y'all were talking, and I was like, I'm going to not say anything and see what y'all's reactions are to kind of like vibe it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I did have an blind date situation March of last year. So I was...
Can you put the mic on the ground?
Go ahead. So I had a blind date situation March of last year. I was dealing with a lot of mental health issues, I was off my medication, on all kinds of drugs, alcohols, not feeling good at all. And for me, like, I always liked, quote unquote, going out and like dating and just kind of seeing how the vibes are. But I was so like lonely and just wanted to see how it goes. And I moved to Vegas to pursue my music career. That's what drove me to go to Vegas. And I had a friend that was living there. I had a job, so everything was great. But so I go on this blind date, and I had a manic episode. So it ended up being unfortunate circumstance. I was charged with attempted murder, and so my case is closed now. But I've done everything in my power to improve on it. I seek mental health treatment. I see my doctors regularly. I work, I do a lot of different community work, service, and earlier I said I was an author, which is kind of why I wanted to share that as well. I recently published an autobiography. It is called Who is Nika Nikubin, A Bloody Las Vegas Hotel Story. So that's where I talk mostly about my journey, moving from around the United States, as well as what really happened in Vegas, because, I'm not sure if you Googled my name, but there's some perceptions in the media that I don't think they've done it justice or provided like context for everything that was accurate. So I wanted to share my own true narrative and kind of like talk about mental health, because I think everybody on some level has had like some kind of, problems in the past, or like for me, I've had like a bipolar and schizophrenia. So a lot of people have different perceptions of it, and being off your medication with those conditions is kind of like, not very good. So that's kind of where I talk about more in my book, about the hallucinations and the delusions I had. But I'm super thankful that, I actually had my book signing in Barnes & Noble this Saturday. So it was a super good turnaround. And if y'all have any questions, would love to see what y'all want to chat about.
We have some of the news articles ready to go. So, and I have some questions for you. Go ahead, Nick. So this was in the New York Post. College student who stabbed her blind date in revenge for U.S. killing of Iranian commander gets probation. So you got, was it 30? And what were the initial charges?
I was initially charged with attempted murder to count battery, and burglary of a business.
Burglary of a, okay, I didn't know that. What did you plead down to?
2 counts of false imprisonment.
2 counts of, okay. So the initial charge the big one was attempted murder.
Yeah.
And that carries, my understanding, in Las Vegas, in Nevada, 2 to 20 years of potential prison sentence.
Correct.
They can also reward, my understanding, I didn't know this, they can also reward probation for attempted murder in Nevada. But that's the range, the potential punishment, anywhere from 2 years on the low end to 20 years incarceration. Pull up the news article really quick. Okay. So here, why don't we go to the next tab? Is this, oh, wait, zoom out. So you were arrested. You got arrested.
Right, yes.
Nick, can you go back?
Yeah.
Can you zoom out a bit?
Not my favorite picture.
Okay, this is your mug shot. Good times.
Yeah.
Good.
Was this on the night that you were arrested?
Correct, yes.
And then there's a little video that we're gonna just watch that will help us. Next tab, I think it should be. Oh, full screen, Nick. Full screen. Come on. Can we go smaller? Is there smaller for us?
Yeah, do you want to go videos tab?
Oh yeah, video tab, please. Can you make us smaller? Okay.
I could do.
Here, just put us in the corner.
Okay.
Is there like a build-up this?
Yeah, just press. Hold on, press.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, press play.
I guess out of spite of revenge.
What do you mean by that? Like, why are you?
Just in general, like, I mean, the U.S. killed Soleimani. That's a blood spill. So I feel like it's fair for Americans. But I don't know. I just felt like somebody in American soul should die.
Hide us. Hide the camera. Hide the camera. Just so we. No. Go to video. Just hide us so we can read this.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Go ahead, play it. You were charged with attempted murder and 2 counts of battery, and you were on house arrest. Okay, go ahead. Bring us back. So that must have been quite the ordeal for you.
Right, for sure, yeah.
So give us the backstory. Like, so, okay, you matched with a guy on a dating app, correct?
Yeah, correct.
You're on.
We've never met before.
You never met before,
Yeah.
just totally random guy. Were you just in Vegas for a couple days, just to
No,
party?
I actually moved there. I wanted
you
to.
you were living there. Okay.
Yeah, because I wanted to pursue my music career. I was already working there.
Okay.
I already had contacts with DJs,
Yeah.
voice lesson people, and that was my optimal goal. I didn't move there intentionally to cause harm, but I had a lot of mental health issues,
Yeah.
and I was off my medication. And given a lot of context that I provide more in my autobiography, I was able to kind of provide more context for the situation. But if you have any
Sure.
more questions, I would love to answer.
Well, so you're, at least what you told the officer when he was interviewing you, you told him that you wanted to get revenge because the U.S. had, they assassinated, what was his name?
I don't want to repeat his name, but
Oh,
I do.
okay.
I do understand what you're saying.
Well,
Yeah.
you wanted to get revenge because the U.S. had, it was like an Iranian general or something?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so was that actually the case? Were you in, like, you said you were manic?
Yeah,
Were you
I
in a
mean,
manic-
obviously that is the video. I'm not denying what I'm saying.
Right.
But
But you said you were going through some mental health issues, so
right.
I'm just trying to
For sure. Yeah, so I was interviewed by multiple different doctors that my attorney recommended, as well as the state's doctors, forensic psychologists, a lot of different people and just experts that made the conclusion that basically what I was saying is gibberish, and it wasn't, honestly, he has a very negative perception of what I believe in, and I never supported him. I never want to support him, anything like that. But when you're in a manic state of point, and I describe that more in my book as well, you have a lot of like specific delusions and hallucinations that feel super real to you, and you're not able to comprehend what's real and what's not, which is why I really like these red and blue pills in the Matrix.
Nice.
Do you listen to Kanye?
Yeah, I listen to
The
Kanye
fuck?
sometimes, but
This girl.
I'm not sure how that relates.
So you were aware you were
No,
manic?
Yay is about like bipolar, being bipolar.
Yeah,
The album Yay,
I actually kind of really like that song.
right?
Are you bipolar?
No.
Okay. So let's see here.
Like for manic, I mean, like I describe it in like different interviews as well, but I really thought I was playing a role in a movie, I was playing different scenes.
Yeah.
For example, we had a car ride conversation, we had certain discussions, and nothing against him, but because I was so like manic and already off my medication, and these medications are, they're antipsychotics. So when you go cold turkey on them, it's way worse than not taking them. So it was like kind of hard with that as well. So anything he said honestly just made me angry inside. And for example, whenever we were in the casinos, whenever I would see the slot machines, it would be like it would cause me to have head fog and kind of like, I don't know what's the best way to describe it, kind of like paparazzi, like with the lights and everything.
So did this like manic episode that you have, like did it last only throughout the day, or was it like a couple days?
Honestly, I was manic probably the whole time I moved there, 2 weeks before, and I didn't get complete clarity until 3 weeks after I was in jail, which is why I had a competency hearing to make sure that I was mentally stable to stand in trial.
Okay.
So.
Okay. And so Let's see. I don't know.
I know it's a lot of information.
Yeah,
but
yeah. Well, you provided something in your pre-show notes to us, which I don't know if because I feel like this is there's a lot of gravity to this situation, so I don't know how, but you said that when the police were interrogating you, you had I can't believe I'm actually saying this, you had a butt plug in, and you asked multiple times to remove it, and they said no while they were...
That's very true, yes.
Okay. Wait, did that clip show...
They didn't report on it, but it was like on the complete video coverage that was like on the case, but they didn't release it.
Okay.
So.
And so you had...
Grid 1 Motorsports donated $100. Gentlemen, remember, thou shalt carry concealed with one in the chamber, and do not date above a 6. Crazy feel like the slick Persian is probably rethinking that sisterhood comment from earlier.
No.
Neela, any thoughts on that?
I'd still protect her.
Okay.
I appreciate that.
You wrote a book about it.
Yes.
I think you mentioned. How many copies has it sold?
Every book signing I've had, we've sold out all the books. So
Okay.
About 50 copies in a day.
Did the guy sue you?
No, he actually, at the sentencing, which is like the last court hearing, where I apologized and was able to express what was going on mentally more to the judge, coming from zero criminal background and everything with my education and my family. And he forgave me, and he actually said he didn't want to pursue charges, and that kind of gave me a sense of relief. Obviously, I'm going to regret the situation for the rest of my life. I don't have a time machine. Sorry,
Sure.
I don't. But it did kind of put me at ease knowing that he did forgive me in the end. So I think that left at a very positive note.
Did you have to pay any restitution to him?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know. I don't pay any restitution to him, but I do have to pay for my probation and court fees and everything like that.
Okay. So I don't know if you really, because I had to step away there. I don't know if you really explained so you met him on this dating app. You guys met up at the hotel. You guys proceeded to start having sex?
Yes.
Or was he tied up?
So before he even picked me up, we already had conversations on Snapchat and text messages, and he was really into experimenting, and he told me he liked some female domination. And with Gen Zers like me, I love experimenting. Why not? Some men are into it, some not. Some girls are into it, some not. You never know. So he was okay with using sex toys, a blindfold, and I have those conversations, and given that perspective, I think it kind of provides a layer of context of the situation as well. Obviously, I don't think having a kink of stabbing somebody in the middle of sex during the night is definitely not something that should be acceptable.
Where did you
obviously,
stab him?
in the neck.
Did you go into the date with that notion that you were going to hurt him?
Is that your phone?
No.
Can you just
No.
clear it off the table and move that mic into the corner, please? Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I didn't have any preset notions, but again, I was in a very bad mental state of point, and I described those specific delusions and hallucinations, but unless you do have those specific conditions like bipolar and schizophrenia, it's very hard to say it. I would look at a sky, for example, the sky is blue, but if somebody who is hallucinating see the sky as pink, and they're like, oh, the sky's blue, and you're like, no, the sky's pink. I 100% believe that.
Did that video, I was kind of focusing on something else. The video that we showed, did it show the weapon? Did it show the weapon in that video?
So.
The pink knife? Did I send the wrong video?
I'm not sure.
Did you bring your own knife, or
Who called 911?
Hold on.
He was tied up.
We both
whatever.
called 911.
I thought, did I send the wrong fucking video? No, I have it right here, the pink knife. Is it in the video? Yeah. Oh, can you pull it up really quick? This is the weapon.
Correct.
Okay. That you used to stab him.
My neck's starting to hurt.
Chill out,
sorry.
Tiffany.
It was for protection, honestly. I I had a lot of people tell me like Vegas is crazy, like you're always gonna have some kind of something on you to make sure you don't get into situations that are gonna be unfortunate.
So you
yeah.
got him in the neck? Like, was it a graze, or was it a slit or a stab?
It was more like I described it as, I said stab when I talked to the police, but it was more like a poke. If I had to describe it.
A poke.
Yes.
With a knife. Okay.
Yeah.
How many times was it just a singular poke?
It was twice.
Twice. Okay. Is he okay?
Yeah. He didn't go to the hospital. And
okay.
yeah.
He's fine.
I don't know if he's fine, but so
from my knowledge,
did you
from what was reported,
penetrate his skin?
Yes.
Did he bleed a lot?
How much was he bleeding? A lot?
Honestly, like, it's kind of hard for me to remember all the details. I'm like still a little bit foggy from it, but from what I can like remember, I don't think there was much.
Okay. So my understanding is that and I don't know at what point this occurred, in some of the news articles I wrote, it said that you were committed to a psych facility. Is that correct?
Yeah, I was in a mental health institution for 10 days.
Immediately after the attack?
No,
week
before.
Oh, a week before the attack?
A week before, yeah. A week before I moved to Vegas, which would be like 4 weeks before the attack.
Okay. So 4 weeks before the attack, for 10 days. That's a very long time to be in a psych facility.
Correct, yeah.
What was your diagnosis?
Bipolar, schizophrenia, depression, anxiety, and PTSD.
Okay, I see. And they gave you medications, I'm assuming.
Correct.
Did you stop taking the medications and then?
Yeah, and when I started talking more about my conditions and everything, I connected with a lot of people that had specific delusions that I also had. For example, I really thought that pills were kind of like hurt my creativity, or I had a delusion that the pills were poison. So it wasn't that me consciously being like, fuck the pills, like,
right,
like I'm not justifying it, I'm just like providing context of like that's what was going on in my mind, and that's why I really went off my meds essentially.
And so there was a question of your competency.
Correct.
When it came to the criminal case, where you were deemed competent, correct?
After 3 weeks, yes.
After 3 weeks.
I couldn't remember what was happened after the event. I had to hear from my attorneys.
Okay.
And I had to be stable on that medication for 3 weeks for it to like start working. It's not like you take a pill one day and it starts working.
But you didn't like plead insanity or something like that?
No, I mean, there's a lot of legal jargon to it.
Sure,
I took a guilty plea agreement. So
yeah, you pled guilty.
Yeah.
Or was it no contest or?
It was guilty.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, because like you can sometimes in a plea agreement you plead no contest, so it's not necessarily an admission of guilt, but you plead. I don't know if it's nolo contendere and.
I've heard of it, but I don't. That wasn't.
Sure.
Yeah.